Imagination, the act or power of forming a mental image of something not present to the senses or never before wholly perceived in reality. Dreams are insane. Dreams are crazy. So let's hold on. Let's slow down. So you're gonna tell me that I can sit down, sit still for a few minutes to an hour, few minutes to an hour a day, and then play a whole movie in my head, imagine myself in places that I shouldn't be in. I don't know, make a whole scenario about me being in Greece, tearing up some mean pasta, walking around, existing in some city I've never been to. I bet y'all have done the same. I know we all have done the same. Don't lie to me now. Don't lie to me now. We've all lived fake scenarios that felt real. There's no shame. Don't worry. We've all been there. So, what's up? Hello. Hi. Konnichiwa. Let's talk. Maybe it was a particular person, your crush, a face you couldn't really remember, or a conversation that never really happened. But everything feels so real. And it's like, how does this even make sense? How did I just picture this person beside me? I don't even know who you are. You look so familiar, but I've never met you a day in my life. And I know I have never met you a day in my life because I usually remember most people in my life. I said life at least 10 times there, but who cares? So the brain, the brain, I'm telling you, the brain is your brain. Our brain is stupid powerful. Your brain can create like thousands of different worlds whenever it decides to, whenever it wants to, honestly. But then the thing about it is, it also can become very useless when that's all it does. If you get what I'm trying to say, like your brain is so powerful, but also so useless depending on what kind of power you're giving it. Like what it all depends on how you're using it, the intention behind your brain, you know. And I mean, as in, no action being taken. You can imagine all the stuff you want. Yeah, sure. But like if you're just not doing anything with it, you're just imagining, no action. There's no action behind anything you're doing. Then what's the point? And then what's even crazier is how imagination just comes to work overall. Like ever since I was maybe 11, 12, 13, around like puberty stage, you know, I'm growing up from a little wee little tiny boy and I'm growing up to be a teenager now, right? I was always throwing out questions. Like that's when I really started questioning life. That's when I'm just like, how am I here? Why does this work the way it does? How does it work the way it does? Where did it come from? How did dreams come to be? What are they caused by? Why are they a thing? Am I a superhero? Do I have psychic powers? Am I different from everyone? Like I need an answer. Little me is gonna burst into a million pieces if I don't have my answers. And apparently from what I've read about imaginations, yes, from random articles, TikToks, conversations, like things I used to speak about with my friends, all that good stuff, all that good jazz. Apparently, your imagination is like a mix between things you've already seen in your life that you kind of filter out. So maybe people walking by on the street, you know, cars passing up and down. You know, maybe you're in a shop by yourself. You're shopping around. You know, people are having conversations, and you just like your brain subconsciously picks up that stuff, and apparently it clashes. It also meshes with your desires. I have no idea if that's true. Let me know if I'm wrong. I don't know. I don't know who to trust. I don't know where I got this information, but I'm presenting it. So let me know if there's a little bit of fact or cap in it. I really do not know how imagination is. Also, it can be random. Imagination can also be completely random. Who am I to say it's just those two? But that's from what I've heard, and that's what I've from what I've seen most times. So basically, your brain is remixing reality, and that's why we're able to just have conversations with dinosaurs. I can have a conversation with a toaster and a frog if I want. And that's also why you can, you know, rewrite arguments with your friends and win them this time, because you know your homeboy's been whooping your ass. You can't really get back in the conversation. Y'all are beefing about something. And it's just like, man, I can't think of anything in the moment. So it's just like you're gonna go back home, have a nice dream, and then you're gonna fry him back. You're gonna clap back, bust his ass, and be like, hey, remember when we were arguing yesterday? Nah, like I imagine some crazy comeback I'm gonna use against you now, even though you're probably over it. Like, let me just speak my truth. It's not over with, gang. Like it's cooked now. I'm actually okay. But yeah. So it's like it also reminds me from what I just said, it also reminds me like when you talk to someone and then you're like, why didn't I just say that in the moment? Kind of thing. Like you're talking to someone, you guys are having a conversation, and then hours go by and you're like, oh my God. Why didn't I just say that? That would have hit if I said that. But time's already passed, everything's gone, conversation's already dead, it's dead. You can't, you know? But yeah, we can't just pull from our imagination just out of nowhere or from anything. Maybe, I'm not sure. But when it usually comes from like taking pieces of past memories and like desires, because imagination is also like a warning. Sometimes I get dreams where it feels like a warning. I have a dream about something. I can't think of anything in particular right now, but it's like a wake up sign. It's like if you keep going down this path, you keep doing this particular thing, it's gonna become a big problem in your life. Or if you keep talking to this particular person, your life is gonna become shambles. Dreams can be a wake up call too. They can either be random, a wake up call, or a mix of memories and your desires at the same time. I really don't know. The brain. I'm gonna burst. Little me is like popping out of my chest right now. But there's always a twist. There's always a twist. Imagination has a dual nature. It can either be your biggest friend or your biggest enemy. Like I said before, back to a younger me, low pee-wee me, I would always wonder how things came to be. Like, the apps I'm on, YouTube. I grew up on YouTube. YouTube took up 95% of my life. Where did YouTube come from? Who created this app? Why are there videos here? Why am I allowed to watch stuff? What is a like button? What's a comment section? Where did sneakers come from? Art, technology, the objects, all of it. These are all things someone thought in their head. This is the thought someone held in their head. And then one day they decided to execute it. And look at that. It changed their lives. Like, look at MJ. Look at MJ. He had Adidas by his side. The ultimately bigger brand at the time. Nike was a little underdog. They're coming up, but they weren't on Adidas's level, right? But he still went with Nike. Jordan still went with Nike. And now look at the relationship now, bro. He has his own shoe line. He got Jordan brand. Grew into $1 billion brand. Nike's a global powerhouse. Nike saw the vision before anyone else did. And that's the good part about imagination. When you can envision something and you imagine it so hard to where it just becomes reality, you're like, you know what? I'm gonna invest. I'm gonna invest in XYZ. I'm gonna invest and then just watch it blossom. Watch. Mark my words, watch. Just sit there and watch. But on the other hand, imagination can completely mess you up. It creates problems for you that don't exist. It further feeds your overthinking. It keeps your brain in a trance over things that'll disappear literally as soon as you wake up. As soon as you open your eyes, that problem you had in your dream is gone. It's not real. It never was real. It won't be real. It could be real in the future, but most times, 9 times out of 10, it wasn't real. You just had a dream. Okay? Imagination is powerful, yes. It has allowed for many great creations and achievements brought to this world, but it's also extremely dangerous when you can't keep it under control, because that's also when your brain will just be living for you. Your brain will be in control of your body. Instead of you and your brain working together, it will just be your brain has complete control over you. You are the zombie now. And then before you know it, you'll just be a walking drone. And a lot of people can use imagination to escape from the reality of life. And I know life is hard. Life is difficult. It's never going to go your way, even if you were to plan out every single day with a checklist. No matter what, something's going to come up unexpected and you're just going to have to deal with it. We can't predict anything. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what's out there for us. And it's very easy to run to living inside our heads, because why not? Shit. I didn't choose to be here. Why would I do this when I can imagine my perfect life, the most ideal version of myself, and a life where I'm dealt with the absolute pristine best cards, and my life is literally nothing but greatness. And I get it. Trust me, I've been there. I live in my head all the time. If you were to examine my brain activity, if any of you were to examine my brain activity, you genuinely want to tear your hair out, bro. And that's why I keep it to myself sometimes, because there's just so much stuff that goes on to the point where it's too jumbled and confusing to even deliver in words by that point. By then, it won't even make sense. But then, even then, I know the limitations of letting my mind wander too far. And if imagination is only a place where you hide, the entire purpose of imagination will be lost. Imagination is a blueprint for what could be and for what is possible. And it's not a place where you should be confiding yourself trapped in a box. Don't make it a prison. You're capable of so much with imagination. Just always know that. So from all of this, what about imagination? Who cares about imagination? We all do it. It's not that substantial. You're just looking too deep into it. Well, okay, if there's one thing I want you to walk away with, just know that you can imagine whatever you want, and you can allow that to propel you so far that you'll literally piss yourself when things come together. This is the place for all innovation and creation. So don't, this agenda that, oh, be realistic, that'll never work. Just don't even, whatever you're trying to attempt, don't even start. The thing that people spew out the second you're doing something outside of the norm, well, yeah, it's stupid if there's zero hope for it until things come along and you start gaining some traction. Literally everything we praise now and appreciate now, albums, monuments, TV shows, hair products, where do you think that came from? That all came from a what if. And you're always going to be crazy until it works. Just remember that. Nobody's going to believe in you until you have proof of it. And then they'll jump out the sewer and swear they were supported from day one. I'm telling you. And that just makes it more known, makes it more aware that you can't brush past imagination. Question literally everything in this world. Ask how and why and what we are capable of and what we can do, because it's crazy. I think about it all the time. Go join a new realm for a while, but don't live there though. Don't live there, please. Don't disregard what I just said. Go in there, come up with some rich ideas, but also make sure that you bring something back out of it. That being yourself. And bring something physical that you can show off to the world later in the future. Because trust me, you never know what can happen. And you could be very proud of yourself for doing so. Bring that idea to fruition. So, before I go, PSA, make sure to clean your ears. Not the inner part though. Don't go grab that cotton swab and start digging in your ear. Don't do that. Make sure you grab a little, piece of toilet paper, maybe a paper towel or a cotton swab too. But just make sure you clean the outsides of your ear, the outside part of your ear, because apparently your ears can clean themselves. There's a lot of things I have questions about. I really do not know what's true or false, but I think this is true. So, yeah, do that. I think. Yeah. Okay. Stay safe. I love y'all.